Hello, good evening, welcome to Love Talk. We're here with you again to bring you advice that works for your love life. And here right next to me...
Hello, it's me again, Elena.
So we're going to start today with a question. We always get questions, and I think today's question is very common.
Yes.
Someone wrote to us and said, my husband recently became very close friends with a girl at work. I've told him I feel uncomfortable about it, but he thinks I'm being paranoid. What do I do? Well, this is something we hear all the time, right? And you're not being paranoid, that's the first thing. You're not being paranoid. When something is starting to go wrong, the husband or the wife is starting to get too close to someone at work, this is a recipe for disaster. Sooner or later something's going to go wrong, and it's going to go wrong in a big way. So the way to deal with this problem is that you have to lay down some ground rules and tell him, listen, I am not comfortable with this and I will not accept this, right? So even if the person doesn't like to hear that or thinks that they're being paranoid, they need to lay down that groundwork.
Yes, and they need to do that without feeling guilty, because probably the person found out through, someone else, someone who told them about that friendship, or a photograph or a video or something, a party that happened. And I would like married couples to understand one thing. Married couples, and also those who are dating or in a committed relationship, there is no friendship with the opposite sex.
We've said this a million times.
But I think we need to say it again and again, because people, they think, oh, that's too harsh. No, it's not. It is what it is. Imagine if you were the one finding out that your partner is really close to his or her co-worker, and they go to the cinema, they take photos together in a very caring, loving way, and they go out and I mean, that doesn't make sense.
Because when you're friends with someone of the same sex, it's different, right? You know there's a line you're never going to cross. But if it's someone else of the opposite sex, you always have that thing on the back of your mind that something more could happen. So be careful. Tell that person exactly what your understanding is of the situation, that you don't accept that situation, and that things have to change. And like we said, you are not paranoid. Remember that. Okay? We're going to listen to a beautiful song. When we come back today, we're going to talk about reaction, a chain reaction, how you deal with a chain reaction. We'll be right back.
What an honor it is to know that I'm your child. For you are so great and beyond measure. The pleasure of having you near when I cry. It's an honor to have a father like you. How precious it is to have you in me. Words cannot even explain. I just know that when I'm in your presence, my hope grows much stronger. To look upon your face and say, it is an honor to have your presence in me, an honor to call upon you and have you near. It is an honor, what an honor. It is a pleasure to hold and embrace you. love you, oh my Lord. How precious it is to have you in me. Words cannot even explain. I just know that when I'm in your presence, my hope grows much stronger. To look upon your face and say, it is an honor to have your presence in me, an honor to call upon you and have you near. It is an honor, what an honor. It is a pleasure to hold and embrace you, a pleasure to find and follow you. I love you, I love you, oh my Lord.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about reacting to things, how you react to things. Our victories in life very much depend on how we react to negative situations. And it's not a matter of whether we will have negative situations or not, it's when they will happen. Negative situations, losses, defeats happen to everybody. There is no one who has never experienced defeat. That happens in sports, in politics, in anything, in business.
Opposition, isn't it? We face opposition sometimes.
But the end result depends on how you will react to that. What we see happening a lot in people's relationships is that they have a negative reaction from someone and then they react really badly to that. So for example, usually we start talking about married people. Today we're going to start talking about the singles. How many times a single person starts liking someone and they approach that person, they say, oh, I really like you, would you like to go on a date with me? And the person says no, and it's like a bucket of cold water. But they react really badly to that because they think, oh, now that's it, I'm never going to approach anyone anymore.
Yeah, it's like that situation we mentioned in one of the episodes where the person is single, she's looking to date, but she finds out that the other person has children. You know, it is within the person's right to choose to be in a relationship with you or not. That doesn't make her a bad person. You just have to be ready to hear the word no, but thank you, throughout life, in any area actually, not just in the love life area, but in every single way, because that doesn't make people bad people. Sometimes it's a good thing, it makes you more mature, it makes you look at yourself a bit more, because we tend to think that we are very good, and sometimes we are not that good. Sometimes we need to improve.
And in this situation of being single and approaching someone that you like and the person said no, because a lot of people have this fantasy of marrying the first ever boyfriend. Now, Elena had this dream and it happened.
Yes.
But this is a rare thing. So you don't have to think like this, oh, I approached the first person, we went on one date, but then he didn't want me anymore. That's not a failure. Mm-hmm. It's like trying on a shoe. You tried on a shoe, it looked beautiful on the shop window, but you tried it on, it didn't feel great. It felt uncomfortable, so you didn't buy the shoe.
I just happened to go to the right shop straight away. Mm-hmm. I wasn't desperate, but I did do my homework. And at the time, I'm sorry to interrupt you, I was attending the seminars, the Love Talk seminars. And I learned a great deal of things. That's why I preserved myself.
But Lena, people have to understand that even though this happened to you, how many of your friends who are married to men of God, how many of them did that happen to? Very few.
Exactly, and we are all different.
So it's all a matter of how you react to that. If you took a step, it didn't work out the way you wanted, move along. Move along, because something better is prepared for you. What we see happening in couples is that a lot of times the person says, right, I want my wife to change, so I'm going to change first. Or I want my husband to change, so I will change first. But here's the problem. They change, and when they don't see the other person changing, the person says, well, that wasn't worth it. And they just go right back to who they were before, which means you were changing for the wrong reasons. You reacted to that in a wrong way, and you changed for the wrong reasons.
And that is a problem, because you should change because you know it's the right thing to do. For example, you who are a Christian, who say, oh, I am a Christian, so be a real Christian and change for God, first of all, because you want to please God. You know, God says we should forgive, God says we should love, God says we should be patient. God is also justice, but He teaches us so many things that we have to practice. And when we are in a relationship, we have to practice that even more, because it's not just us alone, we have someone else in our life. So you have to do that to please God, first of all. If the person hasn't yet changed as a result of your change, then give the person time. How much time did God give you to change, for you to change?
So the thing is, if you are changing, if you're becoming a better person, a better wife, a better husband, expecting the other person to change, and they will, but there is no set time. It's not like baking a cake. When you put a cake in the oven, you know it's going to take 20 minutes, half an hour. But with a person, it's not like that. It can take a month, it can take a year, it can take 2. You have to be ready to persist until you see that transformation. But if you change, looking at the clock, waiting for that person to change, then you're going to be bitterly disappointed. You have to have this inner transformation in you, because God, you are doing this for God, to please Him. In fact, this is why tomorrow we have the night vigil of the first love. God has to be that first love for you. He has to be the one that you do everything for. I want to invite you, no matter where you are watching us from, there will be a night vigil of the first love there where you are. In Taiwan, it will be 9 p.m. in our church here in Taipei. In other locations it will vary, but do this transformation. Seek for this transformation for yourself, because you want to please your Creator. Because if you do that, when a person changes to please God, they never get tired. They never get tired of becoming a different person. They never get tired of becoming better at what they do.
Because they understand that when they give, they receive. And that they also understand that their reward comes from God. So, yes, they need a change. Yes, you will have a change. But you have to understand that God respects people's will. How do you say? People's
Free will.
Free will. So maybe you are there praying for your husband or for your wife. Don't forget she has her own free will. And God respects that. So God is giving the person time to change, like He gave you time to change.
That's right. You can see behind us, there are some people doing some works on the building, but
Expected.
It's okay. We didn't expect that, but don't worry. Focus on us, all right? We're going to watch now a testimony. When we come back, we'll finalize today's topic to teach you what should be the reaction. What should your reaction be when something is negative?
One of the worst things is the fact that I put the gun offloaded, off safety, on my wife's car. And I was determined by then to finish her. And I told her, you know that I can kill you like I'm killing a chicken. At that time, nothing really mattered, because when you are in those kind of mindset, when your life is like that, it's not really a problem, because I used to be a man who a man who carried 2 guns, one between my legs, one on my wrist when I'm driving off safety, with a hit list for people who have wronged me. Some of them, there have been only one chance left before I shoot. That's the life I used to be. An angry man, a wrong man on the street, a man who was very dangerous to himself and to the public. I was a very bad example, a disgraceful father, because on my own mind, on my opinion, I was Mr. Guy, Mr. Don't Mess Around With, Mr. Cash, Mr. Cars, Mr. Guns, Mr. Bullet, Mr. Anger, Mr. Everything. In my own opinion, I thought I was the man. Because they were kind of young, when I come to my children, I change. That's what happened to a double standard person. When you know very well that what you are doing is not good. So when I come to my kids, I laugh, ha ha, hi son, hi daughter, buy them sweet, put them in the car, hide the guns, hide the wrong things. Then I can play a good father, but a chameleon. After that, drop them off, their nanny, their grandma, whoever. Then I go back to my old life. I become who am I? I do what I was feeling like I'm good at doing. I can do good things, but that was not good indeed. I came from the military background. I was not really on a gang, but I was on the gang of my own. And many others who used to be soldier, many people who used to be soldier, we became so cold. I killed so many people. I lived that life of a soldier, freedom fighter for so many years. As a result, it kills my feeling. I don't have a problem if someone did something wrong and I know it's wrong to me. Killing him was nothing. It's a big shame to me, a very big shame. I don't want to think about it. In fact, when I think about it, I don't believe I did it. But on the other side, I have proof. My wife is a living proof, and I myself is a living proof that I actually did it. Killing my wife, the person who cares for me, the person who, I should say, the only person who decided and sacrificed her life to live, to put up with me, because not many can do. I think it was indirect killing of myself. I should have actually annihilated myself and my kids, because after, if I should have pulled the trigger, I should have reverted to more drinking, drugs might be, or more anger, or more killing. And the life of my children should be in completely disaster. After this kind of set with friends, we used to drive nice cars, we have money, the government is on our hands, but sleeping around. If after done all this, when you come back in the morning home, and you know that your wife is not happy, you know that the kids, they still have some questions written in their forehead, you feel ashamed to yourself, and you think, no, this is not right. I have to stop this. I have to stop this. I must be a man whereby my kids are happy, my wife is happy, a man of a family man, a responsible person, a statesman. I can't be doing this. But that is a short dream. You can only think like that. Before you know, in the afternoon, there's a phone call, we're at your bar, so come and join us. When you go there, it's the same situation, and it's a vicious circle over and over and over repeating itself, but there was no way out for me. The life I lived, it was surrounded by so-called friends, which are not real friends, because friends, they won't lead you to disaster. But by then, I treated them as friends. I realized that I actually don't like it. I don't like it, and it started making me agitated, feeling sorry, feeling guilty. It came to the point that is not enough anymore. I start having one side of my life demanding the real thing, a change, a concrete change, a permanent change. I realized that maybe it's the country, maybe it's the friend, the circle friend I have. I must get out here. That's when I started to have the idea to come to United Kingdom. After I came to UK, it wasn't really a change. The same situation started again coming up here in a foreign land, which means that the problem was not the country, it's not the so-called friends, The problem is inside. So I have to find a way to change the inner so that I can be the man I want to be. I went to the center where all the aspect of life has been covered. But that is not just happening one day. We have to throw away, we have to wash our laundry on the public. We have to spill the beans. We have to let go of our pride. We have to throw it away so that we can embrace the advice and guidance we've been received from the center. If you let go of your life and follow God's life, that was the advice. Ignatius, you've been living this life for so many years and you haven't done good out of that life. You thought you are strong, you thought you are intelligent, you are a man, you are dada, blah, whatever you are, but your life is in a mess. Today I'm Maria Ignatius. My children today, they have a father, someone who not only there to provide, but someone who is a friend. My marriage is transformed. We are living in continual honeymoon. We've been married now for 26 years. We just celebrated our 26th anniversary, and I can't ask no more. The only regret I have, I should have started a long time. Today I can look people in the eye and tell them that no matter philosophy, scientist, I'm not against scientists and philosophy, but no matter what you have there, it cannot change you the way God can change.
You see that if this person changed, you can also change. There's nothing impossible. Your family can also change. But what we want you to get from tonight's program is this. Everything in life depends to how you react to things. Sooner or later, you will have an unexpectedly bad result. This could be at work, this could be in your health, this could be in anything, right? I don't know anybody in life that everything always goes wrong.
Mm-hmm. And yet people tend to think that because they are now Christians, that life will be
perfect.
A sea of roses.
So I know people who are extremely talented, victorious, successful, but they've had many negative things happen to them. Their victories came to how they responded to that loss. So if you are single and you had a rejection, if you're married and the person that you are married to doesn't seem to change, be patient. If you're single, you had a rejection, move along, there will be someone else. If you want to persist on that person accepting you, loving you, it's up to you, you can do that as well. I also know of people who persisted and today they are married, right?
Yes, absolutely. And this thing of rejection sometimes and hearing a no makes us better people. Imagine if every time we would fight for something, it would be an immediate yes. We would be arrogant.
Spoiled.
Yeah, and then how many times would you go down on your knees to ask God for His help? Never. So it is necessary.
Yeah. So remember these negative things will happen at some point. Just react to them with faith, determination that your God doesn't fail, okay? Tomorrow, don't miss the night vigil of the first love, all right? It was a pleasure being here with you. May God bless you abundantly. Until next time, bye-bye.